Can you become a crypto millionaire by yield farming? I think you can. However, you need to have some sort of strategy and systems in place. You can't just instantly think you're going to leave it overnight. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to gain a percentage, small percentage each day. We can get between 0.5 to close to 1% a day. That's a win, a massive win, I think. And you don't necessarily have to do this by risking it all. So you can see here I started building out my own website. I have a bit more information on this coming soon. I have a blog, cover a lot of different articles I'm starting to produce. What we're going to do for this video is we're looking at Solana chain, we're looking at Orca, and we're looking at liquidity pools over here. So you can see here straight off the bat we have one position open down here in the bottom. You can see obviously estimated yield is 3% per day. However, this is a tight range. This is 1% range, and I'm just testing a few things with this first to see how it goes. And if you can look up here on the right hand side, you can see the range at the moment I have set is plus or minus 5%. See the minimum price and the maximum price of Sol. And you can see a rough APY, and we're going to earn per day on this. Now again, this is a rough, it's going to fluctuate a little bit depending on fees and stuff. I think weekends are not as good, so it might show a certain percent, but you don't get the actual amount. And just to show the potential here of could you potentially grow a bag in this. So we put in 5,000 at the moment, say we're getting roughly the 6% per day. We're going to compound it daily. We're going to do it for 12 months, and right away you calculate it, we're going to get something crazy. So look, there you go. You can see it here in the bottom right, 47,000 we're going to end up at. If this was realistic and was achievable, everyone would be doing it. Problem here is you're not going to be able to do this for this period of time. So, but the key thing here is understanding what you could potentially earn. So you can see here our range. Our range is probably going to go over this range within a couple of days. Key thing here is what we're looking to do now is to potentially get into this and look to see can we actually get out of it in a couple of days or even within a day. Like there's some people are able to put in larger amounts. So if you put in your 10, your 15, your 20 grand into this, you're earning maybe 600-700 euros a day on close enough to it in position. So like this is the opportunity here for, so most people trade, they leverage trade, and what happens is you end up getting wrecked. What I'm starting to focus a little bit more on is how can I trade per se my yield farm. So I'm entering into a position, tight range, look to extract the value from the fees and get out of it as quick as I can while protecting my capital, my bag, and having obviously a bit of income from it. So that's my overall strategy. Like as I mentioned, you put in 10 grand into this, you're roughly going to get 600, roughly $600 if you can stay in it for the day. However, if you can reduce that time right down, you could maybe get 100 euros or $100 for being in it for an hour. And I think that's achievable and definitely something that you can work towards, and much easier to work towards. There's also another option here is we have BTC and Sol. This is a bit lower percentage, however, it is staying in this range for quite some time here. You can see it did drop out. So the key thing here is if you believe overall markets are up, if you close your position and rebalance, this is where you lock in your loss, is down here. However, if you stay in the position and wait for it to come back into range, you're back in position again, and that's it. Key thing what I like to try and do is if I can, is I would try to enter as close as I can to this position and obviously have the upside a bit more. With that, it means kind of you're less likely to kind of suffer a big and permanent loss hit here. So I think that's one of the good features of being able to do this. So in this position, we would be entering into it with broke down. So yeah, 83% Bitcoin, 16% Solana, and obviously as it progresses up, it'll swap one for the other. So look, we're going to leave it there. I hope you kind of get the idea of the potential power, I think, of compounding. Definitely is worth it to look at. So as I said, if we get into it at $10,000, calculate that over the space of a year, is $377,000. Again, forget about the big amount. Look at the smaller amount. We could earn nearly 3.5-4 grand within a month if we can do this. And if you're on the computer and you're able to manage this and maintain this, you could easily be earning maybe $100-150 a day from maybe utilizing these positions and extracting the value for yourself. That's pretty much the key. So look, thanks very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in this. I will dive more into these strategies and look to try and build out a bit more once I see how my testing goes. Yeah, so that's it. We'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Hope everyone has a great day.